Yo, 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 we are back. Paint to the pit. We are back. Another great Monday upon us. How you feeling? How you feeling, Jay?
Feeling great, man. Another good episode we got for y'all.
Listen, another good episode in the book. Of course, we got to start it off and kick it off with Saturday night's main event, which took place last Saturday in Utah. We're going to start it off with the opening match, which was Cody Rhodes versus Drew McIntyre. Cody Rhodes wins the match. There was a stipulation included in the match that said, Cody Rhodes can't get disqualified or counted out. Or if he does, he loses the title. So Cody Rhodes retains. How you feeling about that match and that storyline?
Oh, man, bro, just all this excess build up for nothing.
Yep.
It's like you ran a pretty interesting spot the Friday prior. They're like, all right, let's do the contract signing. When they add a stipulation that if Cody gets disqualified or counted out, he loses the title, and then they did all that just for him to just completely win clean. Which, of
Yep.
course, they threw their little spots in, like, oh, is Cody going to get counted out? They threw those in. But it's like, ultimately, it's just not going to happen. And I can see the route that they're trying to go. And they're really trying to, like, continue to prop up Cody as that guy. He's like, he's got this win over Drew McIntyre. At the end of the match, he's standing on top of the ropes, just, like, flexing the title and everything. I'm just like, it's just not catching on, man.
Yeah.
It's just not. It's not doing it for me. I don't know. I don't. And again, I don't hate the guy. I just
It's
want
just
there to
not
be
it.
more. Like, yeah, I want there to be more theater. I want there to be more
It's just
character.
not it.
It's just not enough theater, bro. It's just Cody Rhodes. Cool.
Yeah, I agree, bro. Like, if you've been watching Paint to the Pit, you already know how I feel about Cody Rhodes. So I won't even go through that whole monologue again. But it was like same old, same old. I was hopeful that a title change would have happened
Mhm.
that Saturday night's main event. But, I don't really see. It's going to be interesting to watch the next few episodes of SmackDown or Raw, however they decide to do it, just to kind of see what is going to be moving forward with that belt. But again,
Yeah.
I just thought it was throwing Drew McIntyre in another feud and wasting our times if, he's not going to win or it's not going to make us want something more after the match, You
Right.
got multiple things you could do with a match. You could close the story or you could make us want more to the story.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think, that match done either of those two things. So for me, it just was what it was. I truly expected Cody to lose. I don't know why. Maybe it's the bias in me. I should have saw that he was gonna retain there, but it is what it is, bro. Like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
That's just kind of a waste. And it's like I don't even know what else it is to do with Cody besides. I don't even have a besides. I'm just speaking now. I don't know what else it is to do with Cody, but it's
It's
going to be interesting to see what the next steps are.
yeah. It's tough because I feel like if you go back and you look at his feud with Kevin Owens, like you kind of felt like they were building something nice there. Like you were feeling that Kevin Owens
Yeah,
actually did a great job of like selling his heel work, and like again, like I said, the theater, the character, the just the performance of it all. Like we want that as fans, and I felt like
yeah,
Kevin Owens was trying to do a good job of that up until his injuries and everything that happened. And I felt like they gave us some decent like matches at it. Like we know, of course, Cody's gonna win. That's just like the obvious thing. But at least they gave us like okay, like Kevin Owens was like really shit talking this guy and giving him great
yeah,
promo back and making bringing the best out of him. And
for
it's like
sure.
you just can't. They can't replicate that. I don't know who's gonna be that guy to like help Cody and just like really rival him. But everybody they're throwing out is just like I don't know.
Yeah, it's
Especially if you
it's
just know the guy
interesting.
is gonna win no matter what. Like we said with like Roman Reigns, like you knew he was gonna win no matter what, but you knew you were getting great promos and theater and character work. Like you knew you were
Yeah,
getting stuff out of that to just add on to the flair of everybody. But with him, it's just like man, it's the guy in the suit.
it's just a waste. It's the same face promo that we get all of the time. And again, it's
Mhm.
working if we're talking putting butts in the seats and if that's the measurable.
Yeah,
I say that all of the time on here, bro. If that's the measurable, then there's nothing we could argue. But
right. Is
if we're
amazing.
talking just strictly content, man, I don't get it. I don't get it, man. And I think it's just so much more that can be done with that title. again, just so many more ways you could be creative, but the status quo is the status quo, and it looks like, that's what's going to be followed. So
Mm-hmm.
we're going to see.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to see how that goes. It's going to be interesting to see what's next for Cody and what's next for Drew, because we can't just throw him back in the middle of the pack now. I think that'll kind of be weird as well. So
Right.
it'll be great to see how that goes. But moving on to the second match of that Saturday night's main event, we saw Tiffany Stratton drop her Women's Championship belt to Jade Cargill in a match that, Jade Cargill dominated, bro. And
Yeah.
I kind of expected that to happen, right?
Mm-hmm.
Especially, Tiffany's injury, whether it's a work or whatever the case may be, that is what it is. But I think it was about time that, you took the belt off Tiffany. And I think now you build up Jade Cargill and Bianca's return. And then right after Bianca's return, not too far from it, you got a Naomi's return. So I think you got some wiggle room with a run for Jade Cargill that I think you probably ran out of with Tiffany Stratton. And again, that's what I
Mm-hmm.
always ask for with stories. It's like, do you have
Yeah.
a plan for the story? Like, it's okay if we got to switch titles 2 months in,
Mm-hmm.
because if you have a better plan for that new story, I'd much rather you do that than have me watch somebody hold the belt for too long and it's
Exactly.
like nothing's happening. So, one, I'm happy for Jade Cargill. I know her career has come with a lot of flack, with the botches and stuff. And again, some of it is warranted. Some of it I do see, I think it's a little too far. So,
Yeah.
it's always a gray area when people and, fans are complaining. But I do love the fact that she is the champion. And again, I think they got some way, at least to WrestleMania, with some good story work, especially, with us waiting for Bianca Belair to return. And
Mm-hmm.
obviously, even after that, Naomi's going to be coming back at some point,
Yeah.
probably next year after she, have her kids. So I
Mm-hmm.
enjoyed the match. I enjoyed it for what it was. It wasn't a 5-star match, but I enjoyed it for what it needed to be and for what it
Yeah.
represented. How you feeling about that
Yeah.
match, bro?
Now, I'm in the same boat. What I felt like this match made a good point about is because it seemed like clear as day that it was basically a squash match. It looked like Tiffany.
Yeah,
We seen the rap knee. We seen everything. Like Jade won pretty like cleanly for the most part, and the match didn't even go on that long. But
yeah,
in seeing that, it's nice to have a feeling of where you're like, oh wow, like the titles switch hands. It doesn't go to somebody who's like useless, because like you
yeah,
said, immediately when we know to switch hands, we're like, oh wow, this is gonna set up a great story. Like
yeah.
the women's division is just in a phenomenal place, man. Like there's
I
so
agree.
many like plug and play characters they could use, and everybody's just hitting. Like it's so much more interesting to me now than like, to be honest, with a lot of the men's divisions are doing, and it's nice to know that okay, Jade's got the belt, and we're gonna see Bianca. We're probably gonna see Naomi at some point. There's all these like plug and
Exactly.
play stories you get to try and see what works. Whether or not however you feel about Jade Cargill is another thing, but I think for the moment, you just if Tiffany Stratton is hurt and she's got to be out, you got to put the belt on somebody that at least is like gonna hold it down for the time being, right? Like at least
Exactly.
is gonna work, is gonna give you something interesting for the moment, right? Because like it's not gonna go to people that have already been holding it, like the Baileys or the Nia Jaxes. Like we've already kind of seen their run, which wasn't bad either. But to have it on somebody new who we're trying to tout as like this dominant character, that seems like what they want her character to be. I think it's going to be a great move. She just has to nail the character work, the promo work, which it seems like she's getting towards. So I think it's going to be fun. That's going to be fun to watch.
No, 100%, bro. I'm definitely looking forward to it. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
listen, that's Jade Cargill. We know she got the look. I mean, that is Jade Cargill.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
that's the
Like
storm.
that's the storm. So shout out to Jade. And she got the move pack, the move set. She got the physique. She has it all, bro. Of
Mm-hmm.
course, we're looking for improvements on the mic work, but that comes with time, right? So
Yeah, yeah.
we're gonna see how that goes. So great
She's
match.
still young to.
Congratulations, Jade Cargill,
Mm-hmm.
champion. But
Mm-hmm.
moving on to the third match of the evening, bro, we saw the greatest Mysterio of all time, the self-proclaimed greatest Mysterio of all time,
All the time.
Dominic Mysterio, defeat Penta and Rusev in a triple threat match to retain the title. How you feeling about that match, bro? How you feeling about the GOAT Mysterio and the win in the match and everything?
I didn't hate the way that they did the finish. I thought it was cool. I think like we said, we always look for the theater and the character work and just like interesting spots. I thought it was cool to fake that Rusev actually won the title, and meanwhile it was Dom in the corner like tapping the
Yeah,
bell, thinking Penta
yeah.
tapped out. I thought that was a cool
Come
way.
on, man. And his little Eddie Guerrero bag. Gotta
I thought
respect
that
it.
was pretty cool to do, but at the same time, it's like Dom Mysterio having the IC title, but I do want him to just have more feud work, I guess, more just like promos, like
Yeah,
1v1 promos. I feel like there's just a lot of the guys that keep entering the picture, and it's just he's ending up in triple threats and fatal four ways, battling like 3, 4 other guys, but there's like little to no like story work being done. It's just like, okay, these guys are all on the hunt. They're kind of like fighting amongst each other, and you know what? We don't know who is actually number contender, so we're just gonna put guys against you.
yeah,
And it's not bad to give all these guys, their booking and their ring time, and they get to work on their craft. But coming from a guy as Dominic Mysterio who's saying, okay, I'm the greatest Mysterio of all time, I'm the greatest IC champion, he's got the AAA Mexican title. It's like if you're selling us that, give us more of him. Give him more heel promo work. Let him do more mic stuff. And
yeah,
give us one specific guy and just have them battle it out. Maybe throw him in like a steel cage match. Maybe throw him in a TLC. Like he's a young guy. I don't think he seems like a durable person. Like I don't think he's in any immediate injury danger. Like I think you gotta
100%.
utilize somebody like their talents to the full potential. So throw him in a ladder match. Throw him in something that is going to shake up the card a little bit. Not just okay, single match, single match, single match. You guys are
Yeah,
all winning clean. Something like that, and continue to just work on kind of like like you said, like just doing the Eddie Guerrero style maneuvers where he's cheating or he's ringing the bell, or he's faking an injury, tying off the boot and using the boot to hit somebody, like
yeah,
stuff like that. Make it fun. Make us like, okay,
100%.
look, the IC title is here. Like we're gonna have fun with this one.
Nah, that's real. That's real, bro. I definitely think that's what they got to do. And since most, PLEs, the IC title and even the US title, for the sake of the conversation, we know those aren't going to be main event. Those aren't going to be the main event matches.
Hmm.
So on these SmackDown and on these Raws, like, I say it all of the time, bro. Like, if you're not going to be building the story work too much, make these guys just put on great, classic, worthy, or reaching for classic level matches, bro. Like
Hmm.
a SmackDown should have a 45-minute, 60-minute Iron Man match for the IC title, bro. There's no
Absolutely.
reason we not getting that. It reminds me of that triple threat tag team ladder. I think it was TLC match
Oh
they had on
yeah,
SmackDown. Remember when it was like
it was before
Montez
WrestleMania, right?
Ford? Yeah, it was like Montez Ford, the
Yeah.
Street Profits, and
My God.
I forgot every tag team that
I
was
think
in that, but I'm
Gargano and
like, yo,
Ciampa.
yeah, that's the type of matches where it's like, give those to us once in a while on a SmackDown and a Raw
Mm-hmm.
to keep us tuned in, right? I understand for the bigger picture stories, SmackDown and Raw is to build to the next PLE. But for those IC titles, those US titles, like put these guys on full display. Forget just promo work and a 10-15 minute match. No, we on
Mm-hmm.
Netflix, 60-minute Iron Man match. Let's see that once every quarter. Of course, we can't do it every week. We got to be realistic. But let's see it once every quarter. A TLC match on SmackDown, a tables match on Raw, a last man standing on SmackDown. Just bring
Right.
those matches back to where it's like, okay, we're buying into the point where it's like, oh, we didn't even notice Cody wasn't the last person we saw on SmackDown tonight. It wasn't Roman. It wasn't Punk. So
Mm-hmm.
all in all, I say that to say, shout out to Dom. I thought the match was good, but it's like, guys like Dom, who I think is in that tier of next up, like
Mm-hmm.
superstars, to where he's really the one putting the butts in seats. I do have him on that very short list. Again, these are the times, like you said, he's young. Put him in those great
Yeah.
matches, even if
Gotta.
it's still the victory. I want to go back saying, oh yeah, that was a dope match. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? So shout out to Dominic Mysterio. It's going to be interesting to see, what the plan is, because it seems like there's no plan for Rusev. He just came back to lose. But same with Penta. He's just around to
Just hit
lose.
a
So
fumble.
it's,
Like.
it's gonna be interesting to see what's up next. And speaking of up next, the main event, We saw CM Punk capture the World Heavyweight Champion and leave the event, the World Heavyweight Champion, as he defeated Jey Uso to capture the vacant World Heavyweight title. I'll jump this one off, bro. Of course. You know, and
Done.
I say of course because of course. And my heart of hearts, like we spoke about last pod, I felt like you had way more wiggle room with Jay.
Mm-hmm.
But the only thing that's giving me like the asterisk or giving me a cause for pause here was that WrestleMania trailer and that Brock Lesnar's in it. Right? Now we may be having a different conversation of what maybe WrestleMania look like. And I don't know how, I don't know the manner in which, but I am intrigued, bro. Like, it's not that I'm invested, but I do got my wallet open for a potential Punk Lesnar, depending on how they present it to me. And I say that to say, when I say depending on how they present it to me, that means Paul Heyman has to be involved, some way, some shape, some fashion.
Okay.
That's why I say again, I'm not fully putting all my money in on it, but I'm saying I will be intrigued to see how they will present that. I did think before that it was just, it just made more sense for Jay to capture it back now. One, because he has all of the heat, so a win would be an easy heel turn. And two, I think you had more wiggle room in terms of the storylines. But again, it's the Brock Lesnar thing. If it's not gonna be Brock, I don't really know the angle that you can convince me for CM Punk at Mania. Are you gonna push Braun Breaker on me now at this point? Who knows? I think I recently saw an interview that where Seth Rollins was saying he might be back around for WrestleMania and stuff. So, and I believe I seen that allegedly. Don't quote me on that, but I believe I was reading that. So it's gonna be interesting to see how that stuff plays out. Like the next steps for Jey Uso, the next steps for Punk. But again, of course, gonna be great to see what they do with it though. How you feeling about it, bro?
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. I don't mind just due to the whole circumstances of everything. I don't mind CM Punk winning the title.
Yeah.
I think if it happened to be Jey Uso in this instance, again, like you said, the heel turn, I would have liked that. I just don't know where you go with that. I don't really know how you position that. I think you did bring up a good point in this instance, talking about Brock Lesnar and the whole WrestleMania. That made me think of the potential for, okay, let's put the belt on Punk, have Punk ride this out all the way until WrestleMania. Could possibly throw Brock Lesnar in the mix because they're both Paul Heyman guys, right? Like you said, it should have Paul Heyman involved in some element. What if they go the route of, okay, let's position Braun Breaker to win the Rumble, have him go to WrestleMania, challenge for the World Heavyweight title, because technically he's kind of been like, he's been around that, so it makes sense for him to eye that specific title. Technically, they're all Paul Heyman guys, right? So now you have the position of Punk, Breaker, Lesnar, with Paul Heyman in the middle of that whole triangle right there. Who does Paul Heyman side with? Which I guess in this instance you could probably have him side with Braun Breaker, have Braun Breaker go over, have Punk and Lesnar put him over and just give us a great match, and then Braun Breaker's like, oh, I'm the future, he wins, and he kind of just because both of these guys are old, right? It's like they're probably here to put guys over, so it's got to be a point of like, all right, who is that guy to put over? And it seems like all signs point towards Breaker. I don't really know who else I would put in this situation, but he's been the guy that's just been most, like you said, superstars, like they up next. So that would be cool to see it be him. I do hope they take some type of route like that. Again, I don't really know because at this point, WWE is just going to do whatever they think is working. So I could be completely wrong, but that would be cool to see, I think.
I think so too, bro. My only pause for concern there is that they present the Royal Rumble winner as the main event of WrestleMania, and you can't make me believe that they would have CM Punk main event night 2 over Cody Rhodes, right? That's just one of the things where I go, I still do believe the winner of the Rumble is going to fight Cody Rhodes. That's just like my natural inkling. I would love for it not to be, but even like the past 2 years when Cody won it, it was straight for Roman. You know,
Right.
I don't remember a time, and you correct me if I'm wrong. I know the world heavyweight belt just came back more so recently, but it's just really been, you know, the Roman show. You know what I mean? So, or that belt, because he was undisputed before they broke the belts up. But I don't know. I don't know, bro. Like, I think it would even be dope if you threw a curveball and had Braun Breaker go after Cody. You know what I mean? Like,
Mm.
move away from, because I think all of the hottest hands are around that world heavyweight title right now. All of the best
True.
hands in WWE
True.
is like somehow, some way connected to that title. Whether we're talking Jay, whether we're talking obviously Punk has it, Seth, Braun Breaker, and those guys, L.A. Knight. You
Mm-hmm.
know, Roman was around fighting Bronson Reed, so he's kind of in that atmosphere. It feels like all of the hot WWE hands is around the world
So,
title, when it's like we should switch that.
mm,
Maybe throw us a curveball. Braun Breaker wins it in a surprise. Nah, I want that Cody belt because I know that's really the money belt. That's really the belt where you get
mm,
the buses and the limousines
Each.
and all of that stuff. Like, you could phrase it, like you could sell it to us that way. And then out of nowhere, Cody's like, oh shit, now I don't know what to do. And now you give Paul Heyman that leeway to say, oh, I could play in all of these feuds now. I could still be over here with Cody and Braun Breaker. I could be helping elevate that story. And if I'm doing Punk and Lesnar, I could be there to easily elevate that story because I'm the perfect person for it. But I think that's just one of the random thoughts that goes off in my mind where it's like, bring us a little parody.
Mm-hmm.
I think the options are there. I think we'll buy into a Braun Breaker Cody Rhodes more than we'll buy into a Braun Breaker and CM Punk, because that's
True.
like,
True.
we could see that coming from 2 miles away. And I think that's sometimes the problem that us fans have is like, damn, throw us a curveball sometimes. Like, make me feel like I see that coming from a mile away and I just got it wrong.
Right. They flip it.
You
Yeah.
know? Like, it's like the mile away thing. It's,
Mm-hmm.
so we'll see how it goes. Looking forward to it, bro. Saturday night's main event as we move on to, you know, great things as we get into the WrestleMania season, and as we move on to what was also announced during Saturday night's main event, bro. John Cena, the winner of the Last Time Is Now tour. It was announced at Saturday night's main event that John Cena will wrestle and we knew that he would wrestle in his final match ever in Washington, D.C. against the winner of an upcoming 16-man, quote unquote, Last Time Is Now tournament. The WWE has not confirmed the participants in the tournament, but Cena revealed in the video package for the tournament that the 16 stars are going to be from all three brands, WWE, Raw, SmackDown, NXT, as well as people not signed by the company. Well, obviously, that's a major giveaway because he said that in the video package. I think that is going to be an important factor in all of this, right? Because a lot of us are speculating Edge, a lot of us are speculating certain people to kind of end off his feud with. But what do you think about WWE? And it seems like John Cena probably had his hands all over this too. What do you think
Right.
about this being the way that John Cena's final opponent is being picked, and your thoughts on the tournament as a whole?
I'm in the middle about it, specifically because I can appreciate where this feels like one of those things, like we just talked about. It is sort of a curveball, right? Like, we kind of never really seen something like this done for a guy who's, like, retiring. Like, we didn't really have this for Ric Flair. We didn't really have this for any superstars who went on this, so-called retirement run. This is their last year, their last match, whatever. We never really seen this. So it is something new and fresh, which I can appreciate.
Yeah.
I just worry about the execution.
Mm-hmm.
I just worry about the guys that are going to be tallied into this tournament, because you could very well end up seeing a lot of guys who just get squashed, and it's just like, like, what was all this for then, right? And I just hope that the guys that they have in the tournament are sort of like John Cena's just picks for, like, okay, like, I want these guys to have some sort of elevation as a result of this tournament. I want people to look at them in a different light and see them in a different. First person I'm thinking of, Carmelo Hayes, right? But I'm like, I'm also fearful for that because again, like I said, you put a guy like Carmelo Hayes in that situation just for him to lose, he's gonna look whack. He's gonna look squashed. Like he's just gonna look like a throwaway, right? So yeah, I can appreciate it, but then again, like you said, if it is also coming down to where they're going to put guys in there that are not even signed to the company, then it seems like all signs are just going to point to it being Edge. He's going to come
Yeah.
in, and then the Cena Edge. We just go out
Yeah.
with a bang. I'm
And
just, all right.
I mean, truth be told, bro, I think that's how it should be.
Yeah.
I do think it should be Edge. I don't think this is an opportunity to build the next star or like prop up the future of the bit. That's not what this is.
Mm-hmm.
And I hope this is not what they're going to take the opportunity to try to do.
Right.
I get that in certain instances. It's like, all right, pass another torch, but it's like John Cena been passing the torch the last 3-4 years. He lost to Solo. Didn't he lose to Austin Theory? I think too. Like he had some matches where he just lost, where you just like, all right, John Cena would never lose that
Would
match.
never do that,
But
right?
but I do love it though because it does provide everyone an opportunity that's a part of the tournament, which is something that I always say. Now those people in the tournament could be attached to a bigger name. And now,
Right.
while they're building up for their match, they could cut a promo on why it should be them. And now, again, when your name is attached to a John Cena, it's like, okay, the airs are much perkier now. Everybody's looking at this tournament now. So it's like, even if you don't win it, you may have an opportunity to have a lasting impact. But I do think all signs should point to Edge. It's just the only one that makes sense. We've seen all of the other ones that matter. We've seen them fight Punk. We've seen them fight Randy. We seen the ones. We obviously not going to get a Kurt Angle at this point. So it's like the
Yeah.
only one that still seems like he has some left in the tank is Edge.
Edge.
You know, so I truly do hope that's what it is. I think that's how you can cap a bow on John Cena's career, who most people could argue, and I would argue his greatest rival was Edge. I think they both had and needed each other at a very, very vital point in their careers, whether we talk about the first ever Money in the Bank, everything before and after that, leading up to their feuds and stuff. So I think it should be Edge. But
Yeah.
I love the parody in it, and it's going to be interesting to see just who's in the tournament, one, and kind of how that plays out, right? Because then
Positioning.
I also say, you bring Edge back, right? And in the tournament, you could do like Edge versus Damian Priest, right? And what that may bring back around, you
Yeah.
know that old Judgment Day, So I feel like you got some wiggle room with some of this
To
stuff,
try
and then
stuff.
it's like,
Yeah.
yeah, you could see what other feuds people might be interested in
Mm-hmm.
within this tournament. So hopefully they use it for that. Hopefully I'm not just wishful thinking, and we're gonna see how it goes, bro. But moving along to what we got going on tonight, Monday Night Raw. I just wanted to get your thoughts. I'm just gonna run through the full. What we have so far is what they advertise happening on Raw. Obviously, CM Punk is going to appear first time as the champion. I think, of course, we're going to see what WWE is looking at next in terms of storylines. Obviously, I expect an interruption from maybe Jey Uso again, or maybe Jimmy, and it may be a Paul Heyman or somebody in that stratosphere. So it's going to be great to see that. The matches we have is AJ Styles, Dragon Lee, tag team champions
Oh
versus the
wow.
Judgment Day, Finn Balor, JD McDonough. Stephanie Vaquer and Nikki Bella versus the woman part of the Judgment Day, Raquel Rodriguez, Roxanne Perez, Bailey and Lara Valkyria versus Kabuki Warriors, and Penta versus El Grande Americano. What we thinking about Raw tonight, bro?
It might be all right. I think the only thing I'm really looking forward to is that CM Punk promo and just kind of the celebration because I am anticipating a possible Jey Uso like heel just character coming in. Apparently I did see a post where he made a story. He went on Instagram and he posted like the middle finger emoji. He was like, "Y'all got it." So I'm like,
Yeah,
okay, like maybe we're just getting like a little hints and just bits and pieces of where he is going. So I'm
yeah,
a little excited to see that. I think we need these shakeups and we need things that like change a little bit. So if keeping Jey Uso relevant and in and around this space and is him having to be a heel, I'm on board. I would like to see it because again, we just need something fresh to happen. As for the rest of the card, I mean, I'm just glad the women are getting matches. Like I said before, there's a lot of great women in the circle, and I think the division is really just firing on all cylinders. So it's just great to see them wrestle. I just hope it starts to mean more, and it's not just, all right, we're in tag matches, let's just battle. I would like to see Stephanie Barker finally get like an actual rival because she has a title, and it's like, hey, let's start doing something. Same thing with the world tag titles on the men's side. You give it to Dragon Lee and AJ Styles. Let's do something other than Judgment Day. What happens to the New Day? The New Day have been heels for like a year, and we're just like, we're not seeing any work from them.
That's real.
Let's start using these guys, man. Like, we got talent. Let's do something.
That's a fact, bro. So it's like you have to.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's like, and shout out to the Judgment Day for lasting much longer than anybody ever anticipated them lasting. But it's like, damn, those tag team matches just can't just keep being the Judgment Day, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Like that part of it is getting tiring. But wrestling is in a good space. We're gonna see what's happening with Monday Night Raw tonight. In quickly and briefly to the NBA, bro. Second week of the NBA season. We are here with our second annual is yearly. And I gotta get my words right. This is our second, players of the week where we highlight the NBA players of the week. We talk about what we've seen from those teams. So in the Western Conference, you already know who it is. The reigning, the defending MVP, Finals MVP, my second favorite player in the NBA, mine behind Kyrie Irving, the sauce guy himself, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. The Thunder are the only undefeated team left in the NBA during this past week. Week 2 of the NBA season, he averaged 28.8 points, 4.5 rebounds, and 6.5 assists, and his team finished with a 4-0 record. So Shai Gilgeous-Alexander representing the Western Conference. And on the Eastern Conference, another team that has just been playing way above expectations, but everybody knew they had the talent. Tyrese Maxey of the Philadelphia 76ers averaging 33.5 points, 9.8 assists, 5.3 rebounds per game over this second week where he was named Player of the Week, bro. So the two top teams in each of their conferences, the Sixers and the Thunder, both got Players of the Week. Talk to me, bro. How you feeling?
Yeah. Honestly, it's just great to see Maxey kind of stepping into his own. I think he realizes okay, Embiid is just kind of just on and off. We never really know when we're gonna see this guy anymore. There always seems to be an injury looming around, and he's just like, you know what? I need to have the killer mentality and make this my team and just take over. So that seems like that's what he's doing. Just absolutely lights out gameplay.
Yeah.
And of course he's got fucking
VJ Edgecombe. VJ Edgecombe, man. I'm looking at his numbers now. VJ Edgecombe going 20. He averaging 25 and 5, shooting 50% from the field, 49.5, but that's 50% from field and 42% from the three. So VJ Edgecombe is cooking.
Yeah, man.
He's cooking, bro. He's cooking for those boys.
Oh, and
them young boys, and them young boys coming. Them young boys coming. I'm telling you, Jay.
What you mean by that?
Coming. Them young boys come.
Oh my gosh! But yeah, and then again, SGA. That's automatic, man. I don't even think you need to. He might be player of the week for like the next 4 weeks over there. I mean, he got some rivals.
Hey.
I know where you're going.
Hey. You know that's my guy. Been a Shea guy since forever. You know all of the on Xbox about him and Ja Morant. A few years ago when that was actually a debate. Right. But come on, we ain't doing the Don like that.
Can't forget about the Don.
The Don, and then we can't forget about Joker. We're not going to disrespect Joke. The big blob, Jokic.
Blob, right.
But yeah, no, bro, like some great basketball in for me, it's dope to see
Sure.
teams like the Sixers, teams like the Chicago Bulls get to like really, really great starts, bro. Because
Yeah.
those are the teams that with like those sleeper teams, where you never know what you're going to get. You ain't going to know how the season going to pan out. And again, everything is early. I'm not into
Mhm.
the overly exaggerating what a team is going to be.
Yeah.
But so far, shout out to the Sixers, Tyrese Maxey, VJ Edgecombe. And looking like Joel Embiid is like the third best player on the team right now, which nobody seen coming. But shout out to that team, bro. Before we get up out of here, another great week in the NBA, another great wrestling week, another great week in sports, bro. I did just want to take the time to do our segment where, we highlight anything that
Mm-hmm.
we've seen in sports that we want to discuss. I'll start. I think we'll probably both go the same route, just probably choose different players. But for me, I'm going to go Mookie Betts, bro. Four rings,
Yeah.
most amongst any active players. The best black player in baseball. I'm still going to stand by that. Shout out to Mookie Betts. Shout out to the LA Dodgers. But, as somebody that's a Mookie fan, that, every time we're on the show, if there's a Mookie card, I'm trying to play with the Mookie card. Is no question. That's just, Mookie, my guy. I'm a big Mookie
Automatic.
Betts fan. So I'm happy. I'm happy that he was able, although it wasn't, his strongest playoffs, wasn't his strongest season. He came through, had a few good hits when it mattered in the playoffs, and that's why baseball is the ultimate team sport, right? So
Mm-hmm.
it's
Yeah.
not just on you to win. It's not just no one person can win it. I don't care if you bat 4 for 4 every time you at bat. It's still
Right.
8 other people that got to hit. So shout out to Mookie Betts, somebody that I'm a big fan of. 4 rings, most amongst any active player. I'm happy it was only one in Boston. I'm thankful, he got up out of there. But shout out to Mookie Betts. Shout out to the Dodgers for winning the championship, bro.
Yeah,
But
man.
on you.
Yeah. Yeah, I just want to go to the other side of the aisle. Actually, I do want to shout out baby Vladdy Guerrero, man. I think he really showed out. Like I think he deserves to give himself a pat on the back. I mean, that series really just came down to just a few plays, man. It's crazy when you
Yeah.
look back on it. Just that one slide into the home plate, then you got the misstep on a second in Game 6 when they forced it to Game 7. You just like little things like that, man. Just really could really demoralize you. And again, that's just baseball, like you said. It takes it's a whole team. It
It's a
takes the village
team.
to make it happen. And Vladdy showed out. I think they're probably gonna come back strong next year. But baseball is baseball. You never know who's going to be that team that steps up. I mean, the Dodgers back to back since the first time since the Yanks, I think in like '98.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, just hopefully, who knows? We'll see Vladdy coming back stronger than ever. I actually did want to give a shout out too. I did forget to mention. Just back to basketball, my guy Laurie Markkinen has been on a tear, bro. I mean,
The
the
team
Jazz.
ass, but shout out to them.
Yeah.
Shout out to them.
Shout out to
Shout
Laurie
out to them,
Markkinen,
bro.
man. I was
That
looking at his
team
stats.
ass, but shout out to them.
They ain't going nowhere, but they got a star.
Yeah, bro. Like, let me see the Jazz 13th in the West, bro. Like,
They
yeah,
2-4, I think.
yeah, bro. Like, it's only but so much pod time you can get at 2-4.
Right? Yeah,
Respectfully,
yeah. That's a fact.
respectfully, the
That's
pod
a
is for
fact.
winners. This
I
this ain't
just want
this
to
ain't. We ain't out here talking about the bottom half of the brackets in sports, bro. We not here
the back eight.
doing whole segments on Maxine Dupree, bro. Like we just not doing it. Respectfully, bro. But shout out to Laurie Markkinen. Them guys are 13th in the West right now.
Yeah, yeah.
But he cooking though. Shout out to
Cooking up,
him.
man. He doing what he can.
Shout out to them, man. And shout out to y'all. Please continue to like, comment, and subscribe. Paint to the Pit. Talk to us. Let us know what you want us to talk about as it relates to the paint or the pit
Or the pit.
or anything in between. And we appreciate y'all. Paint to the Pit. Till the next time. We are out. Peace.